वो याद नहीं रहता है. But this thing is not starting for some reason. क्या करूँ? This thing is not starting.
What is not starting?
It shows up as upcoming, but nothing happens after that. Even PlayStation doesn't want me to play this. PlayStation also doesn't want. I did restart. I just want to do an audio check एक बार यार, please. Oh, we are live. Say something.
Something.
Perfect. Well, the stream is perfect, the game is not. Hello and welcome everyone. I'll just send out the broadcast right away. Yes. Hello and welcome everyone to the Hybrid 3 Racing League. Welcome back, I must say. It's been, 3 months since we've last had a stream of any kind. That was F123. The game has changed. I don't think the quality of the game has gone up though. This is now F124, as you can see by all the big banners in the background there. Welcome everyone. This is the new game. This is the new season. Everything's great, I think. But I'm gonna keep bashing the game all the time. So just be prepared for that. So, as
I
usual,
hope we don't get banned from playing the game because of chips.
I think that's if you see something happen, then just know why. It's a pretty obvious reason as to why something's happened to us in game. But yes, this is Chips here as usual. I'm here for around almost 2 years now at this point, and I've just seen the quality of the games just like, I don't know, plateau at one point. But there, as we see, Vifix have a massive moment there. So this is still realistic division. I hope all the lobby settings were correct because I was not able to view them previously when I joined.
Chips, I hope we're audible on the stream.
Yes, we are audible. Hello Shrikant, nice to see you. I wonder why you're not on track. I don't believe you have the game either. So, no worries. I hope to see you on track sometime soon. I hope to see myself on track at some point during this season. I have really not had many positive things to say about this, but yes, at the moment we have just 4 drivers out who have set a lap time as of now. That is Redstone. What a massive surprise, immense surprise to see him on top. Nobody who's been racing with us in this little group for this past few months could have expected that. He is on pole at the moment, followed by Vifix about, 9/10 behind almost. And Noopshan is in P3 and yourself, Yash. I wonder why and how you've chosen your favorite car, the Mercedes. You are in P4, currently the bottom of the pile, but I expect to see you improve. I do expect to see you in F124 sometime, mate. I do expect to see myself in the game sometime as well. I know it's not the most. Hello, Lama Omal sir, PSI Legends, the legend is here. Sir, if you'd like to join us, please do join in. We have a spot open in the comms box for you. A lot of people out on track, so I will let you go through this section. Actually, I'll let you finish the lap, and then I will ask you a few questions in a minute. Your teammate for the night, Hershey, is not too far behind you on track. As we have also Noble Gato, who is boxing. He has not set a representative lap time yet. I expect to see him set his fastest lap in a bit, as we have URL Basil in the vehicle of all time. Okay, sir, no worries. We shall see you on track sometime soon, hopefully. URL Basil in the car of all time. It also doesn't sound too bad. It actually sounds alright. He's in the Alpine. Oh, you've had a spin, and you've lost your left side end plate, as I can see there. And you're boxing. So, given that you've had a spin, I don't expect this is the right question to ask you, but how is the grip on track? How's the car feeling?
The grip is really great. I'm trying to push it, but unfortunately, skill issue came in the way. But the grip is good. The track feels good. I did my first run out with I think 8 laps of fuel or something, and it got better on this run. I had lower fuel, but then I messed it up with it's quite tricky, the penultimate corner actually.
Okay.
What is a straightforward U-turn per se is not actually that easy, the hairpin. So it does catch a lot of people out, and you really you can actually lose a lot of time or gain a lot of time there. And
Right.
I technically didn't lose any time, I just lost my wing.
Yeah. Understandable. So I expect to see you come back out on track, or can we
Oh, but
expect?
Ajitesh is in P1, which is, like you said, it's a surprise to me. Wow, how? Not possible.
I
Is
mean,
the game broken?
he's had to up his pace, since he was only about, what was it?
Half a second clear of everyone else?
Half a second. Are you? No, this not F1 21. Come on. In F1 23 was only about 4 days ahead of the next driver. So this is, I think he's really
F1
lost out a
21, I
lot of
was
pace.
better than him, so I'm not going to toot his on there.
Let's toot this game on. Let's toot this. Carry on with this. But yeah, Ajitesh on pole, Redstone, rather, I should say. The appropriate name. He is almost 9 tenths ahead of the next driver. That is
But I
a
believe
very
VFix
healthy
did set that
margin.
lap on the medium, so I can imagine him going much faster than
Now
that
his
now.
fastest lap was set on the softs.
He's put the softs on now. I think that's the game glitch. I believe that was on the mediums.
You
But again,
do, yeah, you do expect to have this game have glitches, so nothing out of the ordinary. Harshi had a massive moment on his flying lap the previous lap, and now he is just trying to, I guess, I assume, charge up his battery pack and go again. There's a lot of people in the chat, so it's always good to see some.
that's a
Yeah.
very interesting feature in the game, the battery pack. You can really attack with it and be aggressive with it. Um, it's honestly very easy to charge it up again. Also, obviously you got to put it on none, but you can charge it up. But overall, the game physics have improved in this patch. The game does feel better to drive now compared to like at least.
Yeah, compared to launch, I don't think we should really be saying much. Launch of this game, the handling I was, I think, calling it a mobile game would be disrespectful towards mobile games. There have been some really good ones out there, but yeah, we'll just be
Yeah,
waiting.
let's not call it a mobile game, chicks. Come
Yeah,
on.
mobile games are better.
It's a bad game, no doubt, but it's not a mobile game. Come on, Jips. Come on.
Well, time will tell. Launch was no better than that. So I'd say the game can get better. I would love to see it get better. And when it does, I will be purchasing it as well. So, oh good. Let's see. Noopshan is about to start his lap, so maybe we can stay on board with him. We haven't been able to cover much of the session. Unfortunately, we had to start a little bit late. But Noopshan in the Red Bull, which is, some would say the fastest car, some would say the second fastest, some would say otherwise. But nonetheless, he is approaching the first corner and he navigates it well, but has a massive moment, and that is the end of his qualifying session. So Vifix is going to follow in his tracks, and we are going to pick up where Nukshan left off. And the yellow flag indicator is going absolutely berserk, as you can see in the top left of the screen. And people wonder why the sales are down for this game. V6 coming up to the end of sector 1, he's up by a tenth and a half. That's a really aggressive attack of that corner. Now approaching this long right-hander. Now approaching this chicane. Let's see what Vifix can do. Noblegata has retired. I don't believe he set a representative lap this session. Yep, many drivers have not set a lap this time. Vifix through this twisty section. Approaching this left-hander, and I believe we saw Joe Bonnie crash out here in Friday practice. But he ends sector 2 almost 3 tenths up on his personal best. Let's see, that will not be enough to go ahead of Redstone at the moment, who I believe is himself on a fast lap. But I think Harshi's taken the checkered flag. He will not be able to set another lap. Whereas Vifix, he will improve, I think, by the looks of it. As he comes up to the line, DRS wide open, and it's going to be... He's improved by 3.5 tenths, but that brings him to just over half a second away from Redstone, who is himself improving, I think, is he? Or is he just messing around? He doesn't really need to bother. He can just relax, and I think that's what he is doing. Doesn't really look like he is.
Harshi's car really impeded me there.
Was it?
My teammate, after all. after
I
everything.
think he has got the checkered flag a long time ago, so I don't think he's really been in control of the
That
car.
it was I was about 7 tenths up on my lap, I think, or 6 tenths, I'm not sure, and it just blocked me in that penultimate lap. I mean penultimate corner.
As we see Smith go up to P6, and Basil is rounding up his lap, and he's going to be P5. That's the checkered flag, and that is the end of this session. Redstone Derp takes pole once again. Vifix follows him in P2. Noobshan is P3. Yourself, Yash, you are P4. URL Basil in the Alpine, doing the Alpines proud. All the power to you, Baz. He is P5. Smith is P6 in the Red Bull. I think he's just trying to find his footing. He's not really, I think, played the game much either. And Harshi is P7. I believe he was. I think he got his checkered flag first. So he's been not been in control since the get go. But there you go. There you have it. That is the end of the quali session, and there is, I'd say, a very large pace gap between people. Yeah, there you go, Shrikant. Exactly. So half a second separates Redstone and Vifix. 7 tenths separate Vivix and Noobshan. 3 tenths separate Noobshan and Yash. 4 tenths separate Yash and Basil.
It's
Another
gonna be
4 tenths
fun.
separate
But
Basil and
I
Smith.
think the
Yeah.
moment equal performance cars do come and play, it will be much more balanced out. Except Ajitesh, I
Yeah.
think he will still be half second in front of everyone. Um, but yeah, um, I someone commented on my Twitch stream. Cheap viewers on cut.ly/pekad. What the hell?
That's something that you just ignore very nicely. And Yash, could you let me know the weather? Or is
It
that
is
you?
dry right now, Chips. It is
Yeah.
dry. It said rain quite soon in the race, but right now, as I see it, it's not coming before lap 30.
Oh,
So yeah, it's quite. Even I thought that the rain is going to be coming soon because it said 24-25% at the start. 35 lap race. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Let's see what everyone does on the tires. Chips, can you be a cheat code master and tell me what everyone's doing on tires so I can change my tires accordingly?
well, I'm not really sure I should do that because if I do pause the game, it will soft lock me. So, can you let me know the timer? What's the timer like?
It's on 0.
Never mind. I can't do that then. Okay, we don't have a formation lap, so we do have a
We
formation
do
lap,
have fun.
thankfully. Okay, so the two Ferraris going really berserk of
What
the grid
the?
box there, and I think they have collided, and I believe they will be disqualified in a moment's time. There you go. The two Ferraris 1-2 on the grid, and that is a nice camera angle. The one good thing about this game are the camera angles. So let's have a look at the tires. Nobody has opted for the soft tires. It is the top two on the mediums, Noobshan and P3 on the hards, P4 to P6. On the mediums, Harshi and Noblegata on the hards. So that is just 3 drivers on the hard tires, 7 drivers on those soft tires. This should be interesting. I was expecting to have somebody start on the soft tires, but I think it's just too much of a risk, maybe. Not sure. How is the tire warm up like, Yash, on those mediums?
It's great. I mean, I've warmed up my tires now, so I'm gonna chill out a
Well,
bit.
you also have pushed quite a bit. You are, I think, at least 3 over seconds ahead of the next driver, who is Nupshan.
Yeah, they really don't. I don't think they know. Rain inbound in 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, that is still. It's not Jeff, it's Mark speaking to you about that, so I wouldn't really trust him. He was not the most accurate race engineer back in F123, or I think F122 either. But nonetheless, we do have a race on our hands, and mostly everybody's line is done. The only person
So
out of position is
a thing or
yourself.
two about this tire warm up in this game, you can no longer brake to generate temperature. Chips, the track appears to be wet.
Well, it does look very dull indeed, so I expect those on the hards to really have a lot of questions to be asking themselves. But we do have almost everybody lined up, and Abhishek's almost runs into the back of the Aston Martin there. And who is that Red Bull? That is Nupshan. Oh, that's not Nupshan, that is Smith Shah. He's going to be the last car on the grid, and when he lines up, we are going to have the firelights inbound ahead of us. And I hope to get a good camera angle. Please, game, be kind in some aspects, and there's a delay, which I
Delay.
can only hope leads to a Okay, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. I'm so glad they added the sound into the game for the lights. And it's lights out and we're off. It's a decent start for the top two. And you get a much better start than Noobshan Yash. But I think Basil has got the best start out of the lot. And he has absolutely rocketed up into P3. The Ferraris stay as they are. And there's a dive inbound from the Mercedes and the Alpine. They're battling and somebody's been spun around. I think that's you, based on your almost swear words there. But we do have the yellow flag indicator once again buzzing with delight, as you can see right there. But Vifix is still chasing after Redstone. Noobshan and Noblegata are trading places. They are side by side as they approach the Sector 1 timing line. And that will still see Noblegata up ahead. I think Noobshan may have some damage because he is having some immense overstay. I'm not sure what's going on there. He's made some slight contact with Abhishek and he is recharging his battery pack by the looks of it because his light is flashing, or he has absolutely drained his battery pack, which I don't think is the case. Up front, we have Redstone still in the lead. I mean, and that's something we're really going to forget about in any moment now. It's really going to be the battle for P2 and P3 that we are interested in. Can Basil hang on? Can he stay on the back of Vifix? At this point in time, he is already more than a second behind Vifix, which is not a positive sign for the Alpine driver. As Hershey is in P4, he should be able to hang on. Noblegata in P5. He's also had a pretty good start, Noblegata. He did not set a qualifying lap, if I remember correctly. Smitsha and Noobshan are line astern, and there we have Abhishek making a move on Noobshan. And the Red Bull duo is broken up by a McLaren. Abhishek up into P7, and the skies do look really gloomy, Yash. Oh, what's happened here? I think Redstone's made a mistake, because the gap has come down to less than 2 tenths. For a brief moment there, as Vifix is so immensely close. He will know that this is one of the few opportunities he has to get past Redstone. But I don't think that. It was just, I think, a brief lapse in concentration by Redstone there. But never underestimate Vifix. I think he has the most wins in THT. That's a nice record to have. Always a nice record to have. And he is still chasing after Redstone. He is absolutely driving the wheels of that Ferrari, and he is very, very rapid there. As Redstone seems to be struggling a little bit. What's going on there? That's a little uncharacteristic of him. As he is sliding around, he does not have the grip that he wants. Noobshan and Abhishek trade places again, so I'm not sure how, but Abhishek has lost a place to Noobshan, who is now attacking his teammate, Smith Shah. Smith also did not set a qualifying lap. And I think we can expect to see some battles going on here. What about Vifix and Redstone? DRS should be enabled, and it is, and Redstone is squeezing Vifix into the inside line there, and Vifix goes a bit deep into that corner, and Redstone with the switchback does have him. But with DRS once again, Vifix trying to go around the outside. There's almost contact between these two. Really, Azun is retired for some reason. That was a bit of a surprise. I was a bit taken aback. But that's a great battle between Vifix and Redstone. And we have our first retiree 3 laps into the race. That is Azun CR7, who has decided to call it a day. Unfortunately, but we do carry on. 9 drivers still in the race, and the top 2 separated by less than 3.5 tenths. That's a delight to see. Should anything happen, Basil is right there to pick up the pieces. And what's going on there? I think I saw Noblegata go a little deep there in that corner. Hershey, and that is supremely distracting, that yellow flag indicator. I don't have any words about that apart from criticism, which I will not dish out right now. Abhishek has jumped the pair of the Red Bulls. He has got ahead of Noobshan and Smith Shah. So Smith, I think, is not really enjoying his time there in the Red Bull. And yourself, Yash, you are just about to catch up back to this pack. Let's have a look up front. Vifix and Redstone. Vifix decides against the dive. Redstone has a lockup, I want to say. That's a common bug from F123. I don't think it's been fixed. But Vifix, as we go towards turn, no, I don't think he's going to get the run this time around. Last lap he had a almighty run on Redstone, but nothing doing this time around. He is right there, and Redstone has a little bit of a slide there. He catches it beautifully, but that is not going to help out his tires. I'm not sure what he is trying to achieve here, Redstone, because that's actually, it's a bit surprising, I must say, to see him struggle this way. It actually does bring into question what he might be doing right now. His battery pack is full, so is Vifix's, and URL Basil is... almost 3 seconds behind. He is driving a race of his own right now. No threat from Noblegata at the moment for him, and Hershey is also a long way back. And these two are a long way ahead. As my word, this is getting intense up front. Who would have thought that? Vifix looking for a good exit out of the last corner, gets a nice drive. Redstone has a little bit of a squirm there. He's a bit squirmy there. Out of the lap corner, Vifix with the fastest lap, a 118 flat into turn 1. We go Vifix around the outside. He will not be able to brake late because the Redstone will cover the inside. Around the outside he goes, and there is almost some contact between the two. Abhishek's ahead of Harshi, but let's focus on this for now. Vivek has the inside line. Will he go for a dive? Oh, there's contact! Oh, there's contact, but I think they both got away unscathed there. That was very close. I'm not sure what to say about that. That looked like a racing incident. I'm just gonna leave it at that. There are stewards for a reason, and I'm not one. Redstone still in the lead, Vifix still in P2, but now the gap to Basil has been reduced by a third of what it was. It's come down to 2 seconds. Further back, let's have a look at Harshi and Abhishek. So Abhishek just got past Harshi. The Mercedes driver is falling back. By the looks of it, and he's had a massive movement there. He will be under threat from Nubshan. He will actually be overtaken by Nubshan almost. And I think he will. Hello, Domithor. Nice to see you. And Noblegata gets a penalty for ignoring track limits, I believe. And this is a great battle. Side by side between the Merc and the Red Bull. Once again, just like you saw in yesterday's race. We have a Merc and a Red Bull on track very close to one another. And Nubshan looks to be much more in control as compared to Harshi, who is squirming. He's struggling with the steering of the car, I believe. He just doesn't look very comfortable driving today. Nubshan with the DRS, moving out of the slipstream, down the inside. That's a straightforward move. Will Smith follow suit? I believe he will, but will he be able to make it stick? Raindrops. Okay, that's a good. Oh my word! Nubshan had a moment, and he has absolutely done himself no favors there. He is in a world of pain. And as I can see, raindrops as well. So when would be the appropriate time to pit, Yash, in your opinion? This lap, next lap, when do you pit?
No, the grip is optimal right now.
It's optimal, it does look that way because Redstone and Vifix are battling once again. I do expect to see these two battle for a few more laps, at least I do hope that happens. As we enter sector 2, Redstone struggling with the rear end. I don't know what's up with him. Maybe he's got his setup wrong, maybe his differential is a bit out of place there, out of sequence, but Vifix is harassing him as he did in F1 22, if you remember. So I think games that I don't like, F1 games I don't like, are really the games where we're going to see a great battle between Vifix and Redstone. And this is round 7 laps, the 7th round around the Hungaroring, and Vifix around the outside once again. He does have the straight lines advantage, but Redstone does have the inside line. But he does not have the grip. Vifix is into the lead of the race with DRS, but I think Redstone is going to attack this all the way, and he goes down the inside, and this contact once again at the same corner, the same. My word, I don't know what to say. This is getting ridiculous. The very same corner, 2 or 3 laps apart, they've collided once again. And these two are obviously former championship rivals. Things are going to get heated, I think. And Redstone, well, his eyes will be red with fury right now, and as we can see, Vifix struggling for grip as well. He is also not having the most ideal time. The track is not in the best state right now. I'd say it's a very odd transition phase that we're going to approach. Do you pit now? Do you pit in a few laps? What do you do? Because is the rain going to last, Yash? Do you know any information you can give us on whether the rain is going to last? Oh, Redstone goes wide. Max and Lewis from Timu. So Yash, you are on track, you are driving on those medium tires. How do they feel like? Oh, Redstone has a massive slide there. His tail end is not complying with him today whatsoever. As we start lap 8, Harshi has boxed. Slippery. Harshi has boxed. He has, I believe, taken the gamble to go under the intermediates. I hope it is the intermediates. For his sake, is the rain gonna last, Yash, do you think? I'm not sure the rain may last, although judging by the color of the sky, it probably will.
It's very slippery, Chips.
Yes, It is visible on a few drivers here as we see Basil with another penalty. Basil with a penalty. He and Noble become the only drivers to have a penalty in this race at the moment, and they both have a track limit penalty. That is really not going to help their chances. But props to Basil in the Alpine to be able to hang on to that P3 for as long as he has been able to. That is a very impressive effort. And the Ferraris are one to have just realized this will cause problems for them when they do decide to pit. Because they will have to double stack or one driver will have to go the extra lap. And will anybody pit? I don't think neither of them are very keen on pitting. And let's have a look further back here. Noble Garter is very, very close to the rear end of URL Basel. Yes, Domathor, the track is still not optimal for inters. That is exactly the case as Noble with a massive snap there. Somehow he managed to control that. Great car control, Noble. But as we go into turn 1, will he go for a dive, Noble Garter? He will not. He will bide his time. He will build up the move and he will hope to make it stick when it does. But Basil is squirming around. He is struggling. And from what I can see on the timing tower there, Hershey is not really gaining time. Neither is he losing time. Oh, now he's lost a whole lot of time to Noobshan, and I believe he's had a spin. We will not focus on that now. We do have a battle here for P3. And you see, oh, Basil off track. Noble almost going off track. And Abhishek's looking to join this little party here. I think he will quite enjoy this. Basil. I think Basil is just placing his car in the right places. He is keeping his car as wide as possible so as to prevent Noble from making any rash moves, any quick moves, any interesting moves there. Basil really struggling there for grip, but somehow he is using all his skill to keep the car on track. He is off track at that point, but there you go, braking as we start sector 3. Abhishek has caught up to the pair of them. DRS has still not been disabled, has it, Yash?
No, it's very slippery though.
Yeah. It does look like it as Redstone has pitted. Redstone has decided to pit, and Basil, Noble Garter and Abhishek all carry on. That is a bit odd as I expect. Oh, Yash, you're not pitting. That's a old call. Redstone has pitted for intermediate tires. Will he be able to gain any time? Let's have a look. Oh, what's going on here between Basil and Noble Garter? That's a fantastic little battle that I almost missed there. Basil drifting through that corner. Abhishek's right there to pick up the pieces should anything happen between these two. And I don't think anything's gonna happen right here, right now, because this is not a place where you usually make an overtake, but expect the unexpected. Once again, Basil runs off the track limits there. And Azun saying his wheel had some issues, so that's unfortunate to see him retire, but Noble Garter has the inside line into the chicane. He breaks late, he goes deep, and he forces Basil to cut the corner there. That's a great opportunistic move by Noble Garter there, but now he has Abhishek to look out for because Abhishek is right on his tail. Basil is struggling. Noble Garter off the track once again. Track limits are really difficult to police here given the situation, given the state of the track right now. Redstone is not gaining too much time. He is gaining time as such on the car ahead, but he is not really looking comfortable. Maybe his tires are not warmed up at the moment, so maybe a lap later. Let's see. Vifix has decided to carry on. Abhishek and Noble Garter also carry on. Basil has boxed. He's taken the call, but he's almost hit the pit entry wall. That would have been disastrous for Basil. I think that's going to be a nice clip for the books there as Yash, you also pit. Redstone, where will he come out? Where will Vifix come out in regards to Redstone? Yash, would you happen to know what the pit lane loss around here is?
I think it's about 20 seconds.
So he is teetering on the edge of that right now. He is 20 and a half seconds ahead.
I think VFix has lost the position because it was definitely the inters were definitely fast.
Well, the gap is coming down all the time, and Redstone has breached the 20-second gap right now. Vifix will have to commit to either staying out or he will have to put in the lap of his life this time around before he decides to box. Well, let's see what he decides to do. Further back, what's happened here to Smith Shah? He has struggled, I think, to take that corner appropriately, and he has been overtaken by Redstone Derp. the dry runners are not having a very ideal time here. Bifix has boxed. Is it too little too late though? Because Redstone is within 18.5 seconds of him. I think Bifix will actually come out behind. I think you're right, Yash. He should have pitted the lap previous. Noble Garter into the pits, struggling and squirming. So is Abhishek. Nobody has the grip here right now. Smith also into the pit lane. Nobody has hit the wall there. Basil got very close to that. And let's have a look at Redstone versus VFix. VFix is at the pit exit, but Redstone has jumped him, and he has comfortably jumped him by the looks of it at least. And he will have warmer tires. I think that it's a no-brainer there. VFix should have pitted the previous lap. And who will come out in B3? It is still going to be URL Basil. So we have another battle on our hands once again between URL Basil, Noble Garter, and Abhishek. So there you go. As okay, Smith into the pit lane. He exits the pits, and he is behind Harshi, just ahead of Noobshan, his teammate. And the two Mercs in tandem, the two Red Bulls in tandem, at the bottom of the field. You don't really expect to hear that too often. Oh, there's a moment for you, Yash. You get a penalty, and your teammate is right there to pick up the pieces. Nice little battle going on here. What's gonna happen? Will Harshi go for an audacious move here? Let's have a look. Up the hill we go, up towards the... There we go, and we've gone wide, Yash, but I think that's consequence of the weather conditions here. Harshi still has... Relatively, he's right there, but he's not really able to stage an attack the way Vifix was on Redstone, or the way the way Noble Garter was able to do so on Basil. But somehow Basil, the pitting early has really benefited Basil and Redstone because they have both jumped ahead of their competitors. Although Basil is still in a Alpine, that really won't take away from what's going on here. He will be struggling. Oh, will he? Actually, the gap is increasing as real locking says Yash, and you have had a spin. This Pirelli Cinturato tires are really having to take a beating here today. As what's going on here, Abhishek's ahead of Noble Garter, and he's had a massive lock up there. Noble Garter cannot get a good exit though, so I think he will be destined to stay behind Abhishek for the time being. As now Abhishek has a massive movement there, some real locking for him as well. As Jishnu is talking about an Omni van. Okay, Jishnu, you do you. Interesting to hear that. We have Vifix back right behind Redstone. So Redstone is not particularly comfortable today. Maybe it's the realistic Ferrari, maybe it is the conditions, maybe it's a setup, who knows. But all I know is that we actually have a battle on our hands. After really criticizing the fact that this might have been boring, it's fun to see Redstone struggle in whatever way it might be. DRS has been disabled.
DRS just disabled, wow.
Yes. So it took a lot longer than I expected. The track does look to be really damp now, as Redstone is all out of shape. He is all over the track. It does not look like he has any control over his car. And Vifix will have to use his battery pack to get ahead of Redstone. Redstone will have to defend using his battery. No DRS to aid either driver here in these conditions. Turn 1 has been navigated and they stay as they were. Further back, the two Mercs not having a particularly good time. Did Harshi also have a moment?
Yeah, he spun as well.
Oh, that's why I see the two of you now swap places with the Red Bulls. Because you both were ahead of the Red Bulls, now you're behind. But nonetheless, I do expect to see some good action for the back as well, as these two. I don't want to give a commentator's curse to them. That's why I'm switching away from them at some points during the lap. But it's a joy for the eyes to just watch this fantastic battle. Let's disable the HUD as well. For good measure, let's just maybe keep the track map open in case we see a yellow flag or something. But Vifix and Redstone supremely close to one another, as Vifix is actually able to stage a really good fight up against Redstone. Will he be able to do this more frequently? We'd love to have it happen. As we go through the penultimate corner, the last corner, both struggling, both squirming for grip, as Redstone almost has a half spin, so does Vifix. Neither of them have the grip, but they have the battery, and they're going to attack down the main straight once again. Vifix in the slipstream. He should be looking to go down the inside. Redstone on the grass there, has a slide, has a movement. And I think that is going to be game over, or will it? They're side by side, these two. Fantastic battling between the pair of them. This is the same corner where they made contact twice, and now it's a third time Redstone and Vifix come to blows at that very corner. This is getting ridiculous. But you love to see it. You love to see two drivers going absolutely pedal to the metal, the limits of the cars. They are in the same car at the moment. That is brilliant to see. Some actual battling between these two. Nobody's been able to put up a challenge against Redstone this past year or so. So I think he's actually a bit like Max Verstappen right now. He is being challenged out for a while, and Hershey has retired in the pit lane. But we are not going to focus on that. We are going to focus on these two because this is entertainment galore. This is Golmaal, fun unlimited, entertainment unlimited. Absolutely, as we see both of them drifting through the corner there. I'm sorry to all those for the back, especially Basil and Abhishek. This is also a battle that we are really interested in. But look at this. Redstone is sliding around. Vifix is right there, almost being squeezed into the pit wall there, Vifix. And we go into the main stage. Once again, there's a yellow flag. So even if they do swap places, it will not stick because of the yellow flag. Praise the game. Should the driver retire in the pits, he will still come out on track. This is happening, what is it, 10 games after F1 2015. Same game engine, yet you can't fix something so simple. Love Codemasters all the way. Once again, we're just gonna keep swapping between these two battles as nothing seems to be happening here for the time being. Will Abhishek go for a move on Basil? I don't think he can. There's no room there for him. What about these two? My word, I don't think we're really going to be wanting to swap from this any moment now. Towards the chicane we go as Vifix drifting around, Redstone squirming around, but they hold their positions for now. How much grip will they have left in these cars by the end of the race? Should they keep racing like this? Because they are driving the wheels of those Ferrari cars. It's great to see a Ferrari 1 and 2, and it's even better to see the top two actually battling for once. Redstone, he is struggling at every single braking zone. He does not seem to have any grip, any trust in the rear end of that car. Vic seems to be a lot more in control, but he doesn't get the drive out of the corners that Redstone does. That is... It's understeer versus oversteer at peak. In a way, yes. Also, but there you go. Vifix has a much better run this time around. He does get a good exit, but I think Redstone will cover the inside smartly as he is. Smart as he is, he will do that, and he has done that. Vifix breaks really late, tries to go around the outside. They are still side by side. What's going to happen here between these two? There's a little bit of wheel banging there. There's a lot of squirming. But Vifix is ahead for the time being. Or is he? Will Redstone be able to mount another attack? Vifix has a slide. That's not what he needed after having made the move. And they are millimeters, absolute millimeters apart, these two. They are inseparable right now. As we end Sector 1, Vifix is still in P2. They still hold their original position. This is remarkable. You don't see that too often. But when you do, it's a treat for the eyes, it's a treat for the soul, it's a treat for the mind, body and soul. Shrikant, you like this. I think you misspelled love this. F1 24 has really brought back the Vifix Redstone rivalry by the looks of it. At least for this race, I hope it's the case for the rest of the season as well. But these two are embroiled in a fantastic battle, and so are these two. These two have been given about 5% of the screen time that the top two have been given. Because this is the battle for the lead, this is the battle for P3, but look, they are also inches apart, Abhishek and Basil having to defend, and somebody's box, that is Redstone, into the pits for some reason. What's happened to him? Oh, that's the end of that battle. What's happened to him? What exactly has happened to Redstone Derp that's caused him to go into the pit lane? And now we switch our focus to this as we try to figure out why he has decided to pit for a fresh set of intermediate tires. Yash, is the rain going to stay for the remainder of the race?
Yeah.
There you go. Redstone is actually having to play some strategy games here. He has to pit if he wants to get ahead of Vix. I don't think he has trust in his existing set of tires. Oh my word. Abhishek and Basil almost took each other out there. And that would have been perfect. Noblegot is absolutely drooling at the sight of this. He is enjoying this every single moment because he knows should there be any contact between these two, he will be the beneficiary. Abhishek is still behind the Alpine. He will be frustrated there behind that Alpine. But Basil, oh, Redstone picks up a penalty. That is going to be really crucial come the end of the race. All these drivers are struggling, squirming around. Nobody has the grip. Nobody has the trust or faith in their car right now, in their setup, because it's just difficult to drive. Redstone in P6, he will have, P5, my apologies, he will have to navigate Noble Garter and the battling Abhishek and Basil. Will he be able to make up an 18-second gap? Oh, who's that? That's Noble Garter. He's had a spin, he's had a moment. That's a VSC. That's a VSC, and that is going to be crucial for strategy. Will anybody pit? Redstone.
Yeah, everyone should box.
They should, but Vivix missed the pit lane. He cannot box. Basil has decided to bite the bullet. He is boxing. He is going to put on a fresh set of intermediate tires by the looks of it. Noble Garter will have to box. He has no option. He has no choice right now. Apart from having to box, he has no front wing. Oh, once again, drivers almost hitting the pit entry wall there, and given the deep friendship these two have, Redstone and Abhishek, I don't expect Abhishek to put up any battle against Redstone here. They are on very different tire ages as well as Abhishek's warming around. Is that I don't think they should really be doing such aggressive maneuvers to warm up their tires. They could always have a little spinala. Noobshan has decided to carry on. He has not boxed, and the green flag is out. We are back underway as the gap between Vivix and Abhishek is now 22 seconds at this point in time. Redstone still has to catch up and pass Abhishek. It may not be a very hard task for him, given that these two's deep friendship and their many seasons as teammates, but I don't think that it's going to be a very easy task for Redstone. He will be struggling, whatever capacity. And Yash, you will be the last car to exit the pit lane. How does the track feel on fresh intermediates? Do give us an update.
Much better.
Much better? So now Vivix is boxing. This is crucial. Vivix is boxing and the gap is less than 20 seconds. Vivix in the box. He would have been absolutely cursing his luck there that the VSC came out a few seconds too late. Redstone and Abhishek looking to be battling. Where will Vivix come out? Where will Redstone be on track? I think it's going to be a very close affair between these two. Once again, Vivix is at pit exit. He has disengaged his pit limiter, but there you saw in the background of the shot there, Redstone has moved ahead, but he is still struggling and squirming. Now Abhishek's for a change. Oh my word, they made contact, Abhishek and Redstone. Redstone swiped across and Vivix is now unleashed. Abhishek he has negative grip right now by the looks of it. He is struggling. And Vivix on fresh tires is just over a second behind Redstone. From the get-go, these two have provided us with so much drama, so much entertainment. Supremely grateful for that. But Abhishek will be really upset with Redstone for having just swiped him out of the way there. Oh my word! No grip there for Abhishek. He should have boxed. Should he have boxed? That's really, hindsight might be 20/20 for him, but for now he carries on. On lap 20, Abhishek is showcasing some Tokyo drifts in Hungary. Well, I think he should wait for Suzuka to do that. That would be a better venue for that. No, absolutely no grip for Abhishek here. That's oh, it's not a joy to see him struggle this way. But up front, it is a joy to see the gap coming down between Redstone and Vivix. Are we going to be treated to round 3 of Redstone v Vivix? It's been unbelievable, and we have another 15 laps to go. Abhishek is in the pit lane. He will come out behind Noobshan, maybe around where Noble Garter is at the moment. So that is not the best strategy call for Abhishek. He's lost a lot of time to Basil, and Basil, I think, should things go his way, he's in a comfortable P3. Because Noobshan will certainly overtake him, or will he? Abhishek it's not a very long pit lane here. And I don't think he will, because Abhishek has emerged out of the pits about 7 seconds behind Basil, because the timer should update this 10 seconds. Okay, so the gap between Redstone and Vivix is stabilized to some extent. Redstone does look to be holding steady for now. Noble Garter gets past Noobshan. The Aston driver is getting back into his groove, into his rhythm after that unfortunate spin and loss of front wing. Nupshan is in P6, but he is struggling to keep the grip there. He is the only driver currently running who has not made a pit stop for fresh tires. He is on 10 lap old intermediate tires. Up front, Redstone seems to have got his car under control. By the looks of it, Vifix is not really able to catch up, and Redstone is quite enjoying this, I must say. By the looks of it, he is really cruising his way, cruising all the way. Vifix has narrowed the gap down to 1.2 from 1.4. Although let's keep toggling between all those in the field to see what's going on for all of them. Somebody we haven't really been on board with for a while is Smith Shah. He's had a very lonely race, Smith Shah. Down in P7 at the moment, 13, almost 14 seconds behind the next car. Behind Nupshan, his teammate, and the next car is yourself, Yash. You're about 4 seconds adrift. You do have a penalty, but I think you're catching up to Smith.
Thanks, Chips. You saw that, right?
I think my laugh should have given that away. But yes, the moment I switch to you, there's a nice little slide there from you. Redstone sliding as well, okay. Is there a little more drama here? In store, Vifix close enough, within a second of Redstone. As Harsh saying is a change of strategy for Vifix, he's keeping it within a second. I think that's what he should be doing. Can we expect the weather to lighten up? Can we expect some sunny skies anytime soon, Yash? What's your
I don't think so.
opinion? No? Oh, yellow, yellow, yellow. What's happened there? Is that Smith? Is that Nupshan?
No, not Smith.
Is that Noble Garter? So, okay, sorry, I saw a Red Bull there for some reason. My apologies, Noble's had a moment, and the yellow flag indicator in this game really needs a rework, because that is horrendous. The way it just keeps flashing randomly up on the screen. I think the Shrikant will be quite happy with that, but most of us it's really, really annoying. And Vifix has caught up, he's clawed back sometime to Redstone. It's not the 2.5 tenths that we saw previously, but it is getting very close to that, and we always want to see a great battle between Redstone and Vifix. Up the hill we go, towards turn, whatever, sorry, I don't know the turn number, this is the end of sector 1. Redstone is squirming, Nupshan and Noble Garter have boxed at the same time. Noble Garter gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He has retired. That is the end of his race. As we see Redstone and Vifix still going at it, there's a 20-second gap to URL Basil further back. Should they pit at this point, they will still be able to come out relatively in clear air, because behind Basil there's a 7.5 second gap to Abhishek's. Up front though, once again, round 3, Vifix and Redstone. We'd love to see some battles here. I think we've been yearning for it for a game cycle now. Let's see if Vifix can challenge Redstone once again. To the last corner we go, as Vifix gets a good exit, a 10-second penalty. Harsh, I think that's just the new game. Is the rules of the new game. As Redstone covers the inside, that's a pretty late move. Vifix will not be enjoying that. He will not be appreciating that either. But Redstone is squirming, and once again the battle resumes. The battle of the Titans. Vifix still chasing after Redstone. Redstone has track position. He's making his car as wide as possible. But there's no grip for him in store. He is really struggling. But they still hold their positions. This is really amazing to watch. Vifix, he does not need to necessarily make a move, because Redstone does have a 3-second penalty. Will he though, for his own sake? Would you want to make a move on track, Yash, to win the race, even if the driver ahead of you has a 3-second penalty?
Yeah.
All racing drivers do want that. They want to win on track. Nobody wants to win off the track. Most don't, at least. But for now, we see Vifix and Redstone still stuck together, right with one another. You've caught up to Smith, Yash, I see. As we see Smith also struggling. Up front, though, Redstone is pitting once again. This is his third pit stop. What's he doing? What's he trying to achieve here? I think he's taken what I've said to consideration. He has a gap to pit and he's decided to pit. That's a no damage, Shrikant. No damage by the looks of it. I think it's just a power move. Every 5 laps they're pitting, they're just making use of the fresh tires, I think, is it? As where will he come out in regards to URL Basil? I think he will come out about a second ahead of Basil once they exit turn 1. As Domathor saying the pit lane entry speed limit penalty has not been updated by Cody's. Oh. It's not like Cody's, to be delayed at something or to, not put a feature into the game. Who would have expected that? That's a really shocking turn of events. Domathor, I'm really shocked there. How can Codemasters forget to do something in their flagship game?
Okay, Chips, 1 second.
Yeah. What's happening here? You're going for a move down the inside. And this contact.
That
turn 1 does not really...
Yeah. That is on me.
Turn 1 doesn't like box and Red Bulls there. It's still there though, Yash. I think you should just build up the move. Let's still be on board with you. Around the outside, maybe? I don't think that's happening here. Yeah.
Oh.
And you go wide and somebody's had a moment. Noobshan has retired on the track. That's a full course safety car. Everybody will box now. There's no doubt about that. Oh my word. And that has really, I think, swung the pendulum back in Vifix's favor. Because he will not
have... That's a cheap stop. That's a very cheap stop.
That is the perfect strategy for Vifix. Basil and Abhishek dive into the pits at the first moment of asking there. As you can see, there's no reason why they should not pit right now. Redstone does not. He really should not. As we have the green Aston Martin safety car right there waiting to pick up the leader, which will likely be Vifix. He just needs to keep it within the delta. I sincerely hope nobody gets a drive-through penalty right now. That would just be terrible for all of them. This is not good news for Basil either, because he was, I believe, 7.5. The last time I checked, the 7.5 seconds ahead of Abhishek. But the gap will come down to absolutely nothing between himself and Abhishek right now. That's really not going to be what he wants. Vifix ends sector 2, 21 seconds off the pace, but he will not care about that. He will care about coming out ahead of Redstone, which I think he comfortably will. And Yash, you are pitting, so you're not too far away from being lapped by the looks of it. Did you have a spin or something? Oh no, Smith carried on.
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies for that. Sorry. That's a little unnecessary slander there. For no reason. Vifix into the pit lane. There you go. Into the pits comes Vifix. E-I-E-I-O, as X-Matichi used to say. Redstone. I don't think there's going to be anything that he can do. Vifix will be in the lead. A change of tires. There's a fresh set of intermediate tires going onto the Ferrari there. Number 5 Ferrari. You love to see it. What's Redstone's racing number? Love to see that as well. It is the number 12 or 42.
I think it's 12.
That out. I think it's 12, yeah. Maybe it's 12. It looked
Don't
like 12.
check my number, Chips.
Yeah. I must. I simply must. We all should. Oh, it just cut away at the most unlikely moment. Although I think I know what your number is. And we're going to see it in all its glory. There you go. The fabled number amongst 13-year-olds is your racing number, Yash. Great to see. Smith, I'm not sure why he has stayed out.
Why is there a delta?
Codemasters, Yash. Codemasters, they make the best games in existence. How dare you question it? Abhishek is pitting again. Why? As let's stayed out. Abhishek is pitting. Redstone could have pit. He decided not
there's
to.
a lot of sunlight on track.
I see a lot of light as well.
Going for softs. Is Abhi going for softs?
Nope, it's intermediates. It's a fresh set of intermediates. Smith has pitted a lap too late, I feel. For some reason, he will be jumped by you, or will he? I don't think he will. Let's have a look. Coming up to the pit exit is Smith Shah. Coming down the main straight is Yash Gosalia. Who's going to be ahead on track? I think it's going to be you, Yash. I think that's good for you. And it is. Smith left it a lap too late. And he will
had to deplete a lot of battery there to do that.
That's a smart battery usage by you there, and you are up into P5 ahead of Smith Shah. Although migrating host, I believe Redstone has disconnected. Oh my word. That's not what we need right now, so can you send him an invite?
Yeah.
Okay. So, on lap 27, the driver in P2, Redstone Dub, has disconnected. Now, the only thing I'm really keen to see here is that his AI stays out on track and that it
What
does.
the
Okay.
hell?
What's happened?
I paused, it became darker. I unpaused and paused again, it became brighter. Like, not like my screen. I saw sun.
Oh, you have to love Codemasters. Nothing they do is ever problematic for the end user. It's always a pleasure to play Codemasters games. Abhishek's in his bid to push and try to get ahead of Basil has really not done himself any favors. Basil will be comfortably ahead, while Abhishek will have a little more tire wear, maybe a percentage more of tire wear compared to Basil. As we start lap 28, and Redstone has not rejoined yet. Have you sent him the invite, Yash?
Yes, can you send him one?
Absolutely, I should do that. So, apologies, viewers. We will be. I cannot. I cannot. It's not letting me. I think you'll have to do it, Yash. Because it's
Oh,
not.
chips. Cars are understeering, it dries. It's almost dry again.
That is not good news for Redstone. He's not been able to rejoin yet. I can't send him an invite either.
There's a dry line appearing on track.
I can. It looks. It does look like a dry line, yeah. So the water's dissipating. Will Redstone's internet woes also dissipate? Will he be able to join back in time? Can you send him just another invite, Yash? I know you're driving, but can you send him an invite? Like
Yeah,
I can't. It won't let me. It's only letting me request to join. So again, you must thank Codemasters for still implementing some great features into their game. Inviting others not being one of them. Maybe I can invite from here. Let's see. No, game group has closed. As expected, Codemasters being Codemasters, I really hope Redstone can join back. It would be a shame if this is the way it ended. As the tail end of the pack has caught up, this will give Redstone one more lap. He has an opportunity to rejoin the session in time. His AI has not boxed. Should he not be able to rejoin, Smith has boxed. So I can't really add him there, Shrikant. It's not letting me add him to the party. Let me check. He's not online. I think he's had a bit of an issue with his electricity or his internet or something. Not sure what's gone on there. But up front, it is Vifix, I believe. Should Redstone not be able to rejoin, he will go unchallenged to the flag. That is a very anticlimactic ending to what was otherwise the most entertaining battle we've had in months, maybe years, between these two. And with these two also being the top two, it was just cherry on top of a immensely beautiful cake. Unfortunately, I don't think Redstone might be able to rejoin. That's a real shame there. It will give Basil and Abhishek some screen time though, which they have really wrongly been robbed of. Thanks to these two having their titanic battles. Hopefully we get to see some great battles between these two, Basil and Abhishek, right now.
In other news, Joe Biden resigned as US president.
Yes, that happened yesterday. That was pretty important news for the US political landscape. That will be something to really think about for those who will be voting. But yeah, the US is in a very interesting state at the moment, but the state we are in at the moment is that we have the safety car
hitting
in.
Basil, I think.
No damage by the
I saw
looks of
someone
it.
hitting someone, I don't know who.
No damage. Yes, Shrikant, he did. Yes, Domino safety car in this lap. That is ridiculous in the top left, Codemasters. I don't expect anything different, but this was not present in F123. All you did was copy paste. How do you mess it up this badly? You'll have a look at the stream. Any yellow flag, have a look. It's really fantastic. Vifix has bolted. Redstone's AI is taking it at a snail's pace. Vivix has backed off for some reason, and Basil gets the best restart out of the lot. Nobody would have expected that. Abhishek is right there. He's got the move, he's got the run, and there's contact. And Yash, you have absolutely missed your breaking point. You are Valtteri Bottas right there, and you had a spin. Now that's it. Okay, you don't need to say that word. That word can stay in the backseat there for the time being. Vivix,
I really did
Basil,
do a
Abhishek.
Valtteri Bottas then.
Yeah. Exactly. You did go bowling, but you got a gutter ball, unfortunately for you. Smith will get past Redstone, I believe, this time around, and he does. And that is P4 for Smith. Basil and Abhishek. Will Basil or Abhishek be able to put up a challenge to Vivix? Vivix has been unchallenged for the most part, but these two have also showcased some fantastic skills today. I think that Vivix will go home unchallenged to the race win. Smith will just have a quiet race, I believe. Not much that he can do at the moment. As Abhishek
I cooked my
chases after
tires.
Basil. Have you cooked your tires? What's your tire temperature, Yash?
It's only 63, but it's like there's no grip.
Isn't that like a little hot for the intermediate tire?
I don't know. Just see this. Like I have no turn in, no nothing.
See that? You're really struggling to get your car turned in. That's really not the way to go about the Apex. I think you're allergic to it right there. But Abhishek has made the move with the help of battery. Can Basil come back on him? Basil with the switchback, which he is not able to succeed in. He is P3. Now this unleashes Abhishek into P2 for the first time in this race. On proper tires, can he stage an attack on Vivix? He cannot, because he has bent it into the wall. And that's a VSC. Oh my word.
What the hell is wrong with the delta of this?
It's okay. That is a VSC. Abhishek will be cursing his luck. He was pushing all the way to catch up to Vivix. And I can see that I have struck once again. Abhishek has no front wing. He will have to box. And that unleashes Basil once again into P2. I don't think anybody's going to box for Slick Shrikant. The track is just not in the right condition yet. It's going to be a big gamble if they do. But the track, I mean, it is Codemasters. You don't really expect to see the track dry out so quickly in real life. But as we've seen from previous Codemasters games, it takes one singular lap for the track to dry out. The green flag is out, and Abhishek has not been able to reach the pit lane. He will have to make a pit stop under full racing conditions. He will lose a lot of time, and his only hope will be that he can overtake Redstone, which I think at this point will still be a tall order because he has to change his tires and his front wing. And with that, I think that is the order sorted. By the looks of it, Smith Shah, by staying consistent and by staying on the track, he is in P3. He is, as you can see from the onboard, as you can hear from his throttle inputs, he is extremely cautious. Did you have a moment, Yash?
No, I'm just waiting for Abhi.
Oh, very kind of you. We might see a nice battle between you two. I hope we see a nice battle. I hope he understands what you're trying to do here. Vivix is chilling out in front. Domathor loves the Alpine engine sound, so I'm just going to put it on board for a few corners here. That, oh my word, it's distracting as well. It's a very comfortable sound, I must say as well, Domathor. It's something about it sounds nice. It's a comfortable sound there. The car is attached to is not really the best for performance in realistic conditions, but I think let's listen to the downshifts very quietly. That low RPM growl is just, it's great. Thanks, Domator. I didn't know that it sounded so nice on broadcast settings. With Shah, he only has to keep it on track. I'm sure there's no way he can lose, what is it at this point, 24 seconds to you, Yash, or even if it is 12 seconds to Redstone. All he needs to do is keep it on track. Doesn't have to push, doesn't really have to take any unnecessary risks at this point. Vifix, he is having a nice time, and there's a battle brewing here for in these last 3 laps. I should let you know, Yash, for your own sake, Abhishek is missing an end plate. Was it caused because of any contact with you, or was it unrelated to you? Okay, it's unrelated to you. Abhishek has a lot of understeer there. You are yourself sliding around, Yash. But I do expect to see this be a nice little small battle towards the end for position 5. Yes, Shrikant, the Ferrari sounds, let's have a listen. The Ferrari doesn't really sound as pleasant as the Alpine, which sounds like an old man giving some wise advice. That's the very odd way to put it, but yeah. What about the Honda? I think Smith is really not taking it at pace, so we're not really... Oh, there's a yellow flag. Is that Vifix? He's out of spin. He's out of spin. URL Basil is into the lead of the race. It's lap 34. URL Basil is into the lead of the race. Vifix has taunted Basil for decades, not for decades, sorry, for years now at this point for not having a race win. Unfortunately, Basil does have a penalty, and there's been a great contact here in these last few laps. Abhishek, he's going to wait for you. Now, neither of you have an end plate. Up front, does Vifix have rear wing damage? All Basil has to do is build up a 3-second gap to Vifix, and he will have the race win. That was the penultimate lap. I was not focusing on Vifix at all, because there was no doubt in my mind that something like this would happen. Oh my word! Vifix! What's happened here? You get a penalty, Yash. But up front, will Basil win this? Will Vifix be able to hang on right at the end here? I think the high downforce sections are really where the Ferrari driver is struggling here. Let's have a look through the turn here. He is sliding. He's had a huge slide there. He's lost time. He's losing even more time. And that is just going to be music to Basil's ears. That's what he needed. That's what he wants. That's not what Vifix needed. He has another slide here, Vifix. Did he clip the grass on entry like Sergio Perez did in, I want to say 2022. But I think it's 2023 that where he clipped the grass at turn 5. He cuts the corner Vifix. He has no grip. He has no rear end. There is nothing he can do right now. But he is crucially still within 3 seconds. That is... Basil just needs to push that little bit more. Come on, Basil. Use that battery. Come on, Basil.
My God.
Use that battery. You've had another spin, Yash, but I think we're just going to focus on this for now. URL Basil is teetering on the brink of a win here. He has to push. He has to use all his battery in his reserve. He needs to pull out a slightly bigger gap right now because it's really on the edge here. It'll come down to how Vifix's last corner goes. He's had a little slide there. He's not got the best of runs out of that corner. It is going to be so close. What's it going to be? Who's it going to be? It is URL Basil in the Alpine who wins the first race of the season by 16 thousandths of a second. Which he has had the quietest race of all. He will finish P3. Redstone's AI will finish ahead of Abhishek and Yash. But look at that. URL Basil has won the race by 16 thousandths. Vifix on the penultimate lap has pinned it. Not sure if that was on purpose or what. As you see, Abhishek's going for a bit of a lawnmower excursion there, trying to tend to some of the grass, Hungarian grass there. Alpine has won, and that's all because PSI Legends is in the chat. The Alpine driver of all time, the greatest Alpine driver of all time. We're always so back. League racing is back and an Alpine has won. URL Basel has won the race. What a way to start the season. 6 cars have finished, but the driver on top is going to be URL Basel. I'm not going to look at that.
Oh, sorry.
Incredible.
Oopsie.
You have to wonder, was Redstone not being in the race the reason we've had this result? Was if he was in the
Oh,
race,
God.
these two would have battled all the way. I think Vivek's got a bit complacent there up front. But there you go. An Alpine has won the race.
Not a bad start to F1 24. Less drivers, but a very, very entertaining race.
Oh, changeable conditions are always a treat, an absolute treat. And podium celebrations for URL Basel,
Yep.
Vifix, and for Smith Shah. Smith will be just wondering, how on earth have I got this podium? He was just cruising all the way. But there you go. URL Basel in the Alpine. Realistic performance Alpine, mind you, has got the race win. Vifix is P2, Smith Shah is P3, Redstone Derps AI finishes in P4, Abhishek is P5, and Yash, you're in P6. Noob Shan, Noble Gata, Harshi, and Azun were the retirees from this race. Let me have a look at this. Should anybody need to report, you can always have a look at the race director right there. But what a race. Vifix does have the fastest lap though. 4/10 clear of URL Basel. Let's quickly get these drivers in for the podium interviews, which we're going to rush through. URL Basel, Vifix, and Smith Shah. If I'm not wrong, all three of them would have been in the same party as well together. And there is some copyrighted music going there. I'm not interested in this. Please, game.
Feel free to explore. Have a good look.
Oh,
I don't know if my setup was absolutely trash or what, but at one point my fronts were at 10% and my rears were 30. And I was just wondering what was happening with the inters. And suddenly they lose grip, like as if you just had a really bad excursion and done some 360s and come back, and there's absolutely no grip to get out of a corner.
How do you change your audio settings? Yes, do you know? Oh, there you go, settings. I was in the wrong menu.
And the worst thing was that Chips. Remember the time when you came on board with me?
Yes.
And I had that twitch. So the rears just kept locking. I have ABS on, and still it was locking. My rears were locking, and my car just went for slides before I even turned in.
Well, I think we have the drivers with us, and for some reason it will not let me disable the hardware. Smith Shah, are you here?
What up, Chips? Long time.
Long time. And it's been a long time since we've seen you on the podium as well, Smith.
I mean, it's been a long time that I've played F1.
Yes. Well, aren't we all? Smith, it is a podium for you. Just how was your race? You were having a really quiet race, and in the end, you ended with a podium. Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel like Oscar Piastri being given that P1. But yeah, I mean, it was honestly a very sad race for me until I realized, okay, I'm on the podium. So yeah, I was just racing. I mean, I was just driving, not even racing, I should say. So yeah, that was it for me, honestly.
Well, you kept it on track, you kept it clean, no penalties as well, and you've got a very well-earned podium. I think you can be happy with it.
I am, but congratulations to Baz and Vifix. Unfortunate for Redstone there, honestly. Got disconnected just at the wrong time. Or at the right time, someone would say. But GG's to everyone. Good to see F1 season back and we all racing.
Absolutely. I just wanted to ask you a brief question here. How were the wheel-to-wheel battles with your teammate Nubshan, and I think it was, I want to say Harshi at the start, because that was the only bit of action he had.
Wheel racing with anyone.
Oh.
I wasn't V2 racing with anyone. I just saw them spin and I just overtook them. That was
Oh.
it. My goal was to not have any penalties because, first of all, it was a wet race, and secondly, though I was in a Red Bull, but it's Hungary. It's FN24. The physics we all know about it, right? So
Yeah.
I didn't have the right shoe that was given to me by FN24. But yeah,
I mean, I think I've stressed this enough. You have to have the right cushion on your F1 World Sofa to be able to win. So,
yeah. I mean, my back is gone. It's aching carrying Red Bull right now.
yeah. Change your cushion though. You will get the win next time around. Don't worry.
Yeah, man. GG Sterling.
Congrats, Smith. Congrats. You did achieve your goal of not getting a penalty. So I think you can be happy with that.
Yep.
A good race weekend from you. We now move
Thanks.
on to the Ferrari driver who was leading home a Ferrari win. Unfortunately, something happened which I'm going to ask you right now, Bifix. What happened on lap 34?
So, what do you want to talk about?
Firstly, lap 34. That's. I think
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, I don't know. Lots of concentration, maybe. I haven't been league racing for a while. Also, played a lot of the game today. I just did 100% race at freaking Baku with this AI. Yuki Tsunoda, by the way, represent. But yeah, it was pretty fun actually. Even the spin, I don't know what was up with that because I don't even think I clipped anything or like did anything different with this game. I don't know. But yeah, it was just one of those moments, one of those moments, and yeah, that happens. Aside from that, race was solid. Quali, I messed up my lap a bit, but that will come through with more reps on this game. But yeah, loved it. Race was good. Yeah, I think I'll just spend so much time like behind the entire race, like being in front running air. It's different. You can just ask Lando Norris that, and I mean not really because he keeps bottling, but yeah, just different, and just wasn't used to it. I guess turned in a slight bit too early. If I turned in with the car in front of me, I'd have gotten the time to adjust it, but didn't. Also, I was, yeah, that's it really. It's silly mistake.
Well, no worries. Apart from that spin though, Bifix, I would just personally like to thank you. I had thought we would also have Redstone here on the podium in podium interviews, but nonetheless, I just want to thank you and him both for providing us with such amazing entertainment for a majority of the race. That was beautiful. How were those battles while you were driving?
Yeah,
How were
honestly,
they?
I was just trying not to crash into him a lot of the time. I don't know. He seemed to be really struggling in the race. I don't know what was up. Maybe the car wasn't open enough, and he was having to compensate with steering. But yeah, he was really struggling, and it was really hard to not run into him. So I was running at quite like an unnatural pace for like most of that race, and I was having to really back out of it. I don't have much running on this game, at least not in like equal or realistic cars, just in career mode. Yeah, so it was fun. Yeah, but it was also very much adrenaline pumping because I didn't want to crash us both out.
Well, the two of you did have a lot of run-ins at, I want to say turn 3, but I think I'm wrong. Turn 2.
I think that's turn two.
Turn
though.
2, yeah, I think that's turn 2. I think the two of you collided about 4 times at turn 2. So that
Yeah, I
was.
only registered one of them, by the way. It's the best game ever when I have to ask people whether the guy was side by side would hit me or not, because of course the hit registration is completely on point. Um, it's, yeah, I genuinely don't think even he felt like a few of those taps. I look back at the footage and some of them like he hit me right in the intercooler almost, the airlet, and I didn't feel any of it. Yeah.
We expect this from Codemasters, top quality anti-work by them. But yeah, Nonetheless, Vipix, I just want to ask you lastly, before I let you go, did you have rear wing damage or diffuser damage or both from that last crash?
Yeah, I had rear wing damage after that.
Was it like red damage or yellow damage?
I didn't check, honestly. I think it was just the light one because red
Like yellow.
damage is basically undrivable, especially in the rain, especially at Hungary as well. So I think it was just light. I did think, because I had zero warnings, I did think about just straight lining the chicane, getting ahead of Baz and then holding him up for the last sector. Because then it would have just given me a 3 seconds. I know this game. So, yeah, but...
It did look like a very hefty impact, so I just wanted to ask for your opinions on how it was.
Yeah, but the love was too strong.
The love shall always remain true. Thank you, Vipix. I think you will be back on form for the next race, but
Ciao.
we head over to a certain someone. I hope you're there in the party. Are you there? URL.
Yeah.
The love is real, and you are right here in P1. URL Basil. How do you feel?
Don't know. Don't really know. A bit fortunate, I guess. The fix made a uncharacteristic error on his part. But you know, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, you have just driven a realistic performance Alpine to the race win. How was your race today? You had some fantastic battles with Abhishek. I'm sorry I couldn't give you any screen time. These two were really hogging up all the screen time here tonight. How was it though? How was the racing today in your eyes?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad on the dries. Once we moved on to Inter, my tyres started overheat, especially on the first interstint. And yeah, it was a struggle to keep the car on track, and yeah, that was pretty hard. The Alpine itself is a bit difficult to drive. It's too understeery and very snappy. But yeah, I think in the second and third stint on the Inters, I kind of like figured out how to keep the tires cool. So that really helped, I guess, to stay here and have a chance for a very unlikely win.
You were in the right place at the right time. You picked up the pieces and you were there when it mattered. So you do get a win. I think this is your first win in a while, Baz. So I think you can be quite happy with that.
Yeah. I think I've won here before. But,
yeah. I think it's been a while.
It's always nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
It's always nice to have you in the podium interviews, and more so when you're in the top step of the podium. So well done, Baz. Congratulations to you.
Cheers.
And yes. And with that, I think we can conclude that. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We are all a bit rusty. We should be getting into form real soon over the next few weeks as we resume league racing. We will be back next week. We shall see you all then. Until then, do take care. We'll see you later. Thank you. Take care. Good night and bye-bye.
Is the love